Friday night, soccer action brings us to Eastern Stadium here in Lansing, Michigan. It's Lansing Common Football Club against Grand Rapids Soccer Club. Hello, everybody. My name is Jack Bowinkle. Pleased to be joined, as always, or I guess not always because we both missed 2 weeks ago, but Josh Lee is aside me for this broadcast, and my friend, it's been a couple weeks since Lansing Common's been home. It's been a while since the two of us were able to work together. How you feeling?
Feeling good. Feel like there's some juice that needs to be rejuvenated back into the squad, needing a much-needed win today to keep on the title charge. I know we'll get into that in a little bit. But it's a Friday night. We've talked about it before the broadcast, that Friday nights normally get the biggest crowd. Already have a decent crowd on hand, and it should get even bigger as the night goes on.
Yeah, let's move back a week to talk about Lansing Common's most recent result, and that was arguably the worst game of the season, and there was no challenger to that whatsoever. A 6-1 defeat at the hand of Tulip City United SC on the road in Holland. And the only goal scorer, Mikey Costaglanis, is out of the lineup tonight, so the only silver lining won't be playing here against Grand Rapids. And, partner, I know we both tuned into that game, bits and pieces of it. We both had things going on, but I watched the majority of it. I think you did as well. Takeaways from that game that just seemed like it was way out of sorts for this Robins squad.
Better starts, I think, is the main thing you got to take away. This Robins team, I think almost all season long, and I think you can agree with this, is that the starts haven't been, they've either been good or they've been really bad. They haven't been somewhere in the middle where you can get yourself going, get yourself into the game. Giving up 3 goals within the first 15 minutes is just something that you can't do, especially against Tulip City, who now jump into second place ahead of you. You're going to have to be clawing and fighting the rest of the season on with this game here tonight and one more game later next weekend.
We'll talk about the standings in just a little bit, but the last time Lansing Common only scored 1 goal in their game was against 1927 SC in the first league game of the season. Since then, Common has been able to score 2 or more goals in every league game. And then Goshen City and Tulip City in back-to-back weeks, only 1 goal scored and 7 given up for this Lansing Common squad. Let's take a look at those Midwest Premier League standings for a moment, Josh. And what stands out to you and all the viewers, of course, is that Common now sits in 3rd place. And with a win here against Grand Rapids, can catapult into first, but probably only for a little bit unless Goshen City and Tulip City can both lose in the coming days. Goshen plays tomorrow and Tulip in 2 days. It's just a very similar theme to Lansing Common, where they start off strong in terms of the win-loss column in the season and falter down in the end. And Goshen City FC kind of turned the tide for them a season ago, and we got to hope, all Robins fans are hoping that that's not the case here. 2 weeks ago, losing to Goshen, and now in a similar position.
Yeah, and you're looking to avoid history repeating itself here, as you see in the standings there. Goshen jumps back up to first place like last season happened. But last season, this exact game killed the Robins season flat out. They lost 3-2 on the road in Grand Rapids, and that effectively ended the race. Goshen City headed from there. So tonight, super important to stay sharp. Even though you see the Grand Rapids SCs on the bottom of the West Division standings, they've offered a threat to this team their entire time in the Midwest Premier League. Tulip City can't be discounted. A huge 6-1 win propelled their goal differential, and if they get some movement with Goshen City, who have a couple tough fixtures coming up, Tulip City could also be pushing for that first place spot. Still lots up for grabs. No need to sulk the head now. There's plenty of chances. Lansing Common just has to play the game in front of them.
Yeah, the winner of the East and West divisions, as you can see on the screen and graphic right here, will play for the Great Lakes Conference title at the end of the season, and the Robins look to be in that position. But it's very interesting to note that in the first league game, I mentioned it moments ago, against 1927 SC, was a 1-1 draw here at Eastern Stadium. And in the 95th minute, in extra time, Spencer Powell was able to deliver the tying goal. And my goodness, that could prove to be all important as we end this season and wind down in the home stretch. The last couple weeks of league play, Spencer Powell is also out of the lineup. So pretty solid lineup. We'll get into the starting lineups here in a moment. But for the Robins, you mentioned it, Josh, it's got to be a fast start, and that is absolutely no secret here this evening.
Yeah, completely. And we're going to get into starting lineups in a second, but they have the quality of players that can offer that fast start. And it's just being able to play the style of soccer that Lansing Common has played, Coach Sorg wants them to play, and getting into that style is super important. It's kind of the style that we've seen with the World Cup taking place, where teams like playing pressing, they like getting the ball back and holding on to it and opening up alleys and lanes for themselves to get that final ball in behind the defense and get a one-on-one chance, especially for the number 9 tonight. We'll get to him in a second. That's going to be really important for the Robins, especially early on. Settle the game down and let it come to you. Let it play the way that you want.
Let's take a look at those starting lineups. First for the Robins here this evening. It looks like it's going to be Vias Papadudis between the sticks, which is a good sign because he's been very consistent all season, as has Jackson Kiska, but Papadudis getting the nod. Again, out of that back line is Spencer Powell. Take me through the starting 9, my friend.
Exactly as you see, Amir Shatia out on that left-hand side. Damien Adai and Kevin Payne partnering in the center back positions. No Spencer Powell tonight, but Damien Adai, that youngster that offers alongside that experience of Kevin Payne. Josh Angel Craven out on that right. The engine of the team in Jack Heald. I'm assuming he'll have the captain's armband on tonight. He essentially is the leader on that pitch, the emotional, the physical, and spiritual leader of this team. Joey Farhat, the partner that was alongside him all of last season, been in and out of the lineup this past season, gets to start alongside Jack Heald. Jason Janowski, the social media star for this team. Elijah View, who's also newcomer this season, wasn't here last year, has been a real nice addition to the squad. Carter Hagan out on the right-hand side, and the man up top that we were talking about a little bit ago, who's been a dynamite for this team all season, Extreme Hawk, leading the line for the Robins.
On the other side for Grand Rapids SC, let's take a look at their starting lineup. We're not too familiar with a lot of these players on this squad, but it looks like it's going to be Jack Groenveld between the sticks. He's been solid, and he stands tall, over 6'4", in that goal for the visitors. And you saw the standings earlier on for the Midwest Premier League, and Grand Rapids right now just kind of playing for pride at this point. Only 6 points in the season standings in the Great Lakes West Division, but like Josh mentioned, a very similar point for them a season ago. They were dead last in the conference as they stand now without even a win, as Josh and I talked about before the broadcast, and then they went on their home field and took down the Robins 3-2.
And not to mention, they're coming on a run of their own. They've won the last 2 games themselves, knocking off Holland Rovers and knocking off second place Tulip City. Granted, they played 5 days ago, so maybe they're on a little bit of weak rest compared to the Robins, but again, they're coming in with some momentum of their own. They could potentially do a shocker here against Lansing Common. That's why you got to remain grounded. Stay on your feet. Keep playing the full 90 minutes. Don't think that the game's over, especially if Grand Rapids gets out to that hot start, like we saw Tulip City get out to that hot start against the Robins. Stay on your feet, play the full 90, and make sure damage limitations.
Tulip City United SC came to Eastern Stadium around a month ago and got absolutely shellacked. A 4-1 victory for the Robins. Almost a clean sheet, but they were able to notch one in the 89th minute to ruin Jackson Kiska's perfect day. And then, of course, Lansing Common went on the road and lost 6-1 in their worst defeat. And, some may say one of the worst games that, these guys have collectively played any time they've stepped foot onto the pitch. And unfortunately for Lansing Common, it's been losers of 2 straight, but they look to improve on that and get a victory here tonight in a big spot against Grand Rapids SC. Again, Jack Bowinkle, Josh Lee to bring you all the action from Eastern Stadium. Weather here in Lansing, Michigan, a solid even 80 degrees. It's cloudy, a high of 82 today, a low of 67. It appears we will hit 75-degree temperatures by the time this thing is all said and done. Both Common and Grand Rapids SC getting ready. It looks like the starters will enter the playing field momentarily. A little bit windy today, not much. 8 to 10 mile an hour winds out of the northeast here in Lansing, Michigan. Sunset 9:17 p.m., so it doesn't look like we'll meet that here unless we have some drastic stoppage in this game.
You mentioned the wind, Jack, and we've seen it all season long where that wind is whipping
Totally.
down there,
Yes.
especially when you're going from left to right alongside your screen. Now the wind's in the back. See if Grand Rapids, their formation they're running today is a 5-3-2. They're having 5 back, they're having 3 in the midfield and 2 up top. Wondering if they're going to play long and direct and try and get it off the head of somebody, get a flick in behind, try and run behind the defense, or if they'll try and chest it down and play someone in for a run behind the defender. So interesting to see how Grand Rapids SC approaches this one, especially with that formation where it seems so defensive and know that Lansing Common wants the ball.
FIFA World Cup is in full swing, and Canada, United States, and Mexico. Right now, currently in the quarterfinals, there's 2 more matches left to play in the World Cup. Norway and England taking on each other tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and then at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, it's Argentina and Switzerland duking it out. And the winners of those 2 games will play each other, and the winner of that game will play the winner of France and Spain, who will take on each other in the first semifinal on July 14th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. You can catch all those games on Fox, and it's been fantastic to watch. It's been a fantastic World Cup from top to bottom. The storylines from Cabo Verde making it to the first ever World Cup. Norway now here with a chance to advance to the semifinals and make their country proud. It's just been a wonderful addition to the sports calendar this year.
It's been an unbelievable tournament. It's been a real treat. And I think the excitement, you could feel it, especially when the United States are in it. You could feel the excitement here in the States. And you could sense the game of soccer is growing in the United States, but you could really feel it hit a crescendo pre-game against Belgium. I won't say so much about after the game against Belgium,
Sure.
but the excitement for soccer was so amazing. But this tournament, this World Cup, has been an absolute treat. It's been a joy to watch. Every game feels like it's down to the wire. Very rarely do you feel like you see a blowout in terms of games. I mean, Spain and Cape Verde, first game for Spain, had a little jitters. Spain's looked dominant ever since, but they got held to a draw. Every game's been a treat, and it sucks that it's going to end here in the next week. It sucks.
Spain and Belgium just went final about a half hour ago. 2-1 victory for the Spaniards, and Belgium gets sent home after defeating the United States in the round of 16. Seattle was rocking. You're right. I mean, they talk about Lumen Field being one of the best sporting event environments in terms of for the Seahawks and the Seattle Sounders, but for this time it was for the United States and Belgium, and boy, was that place on absolute fire.
And it's a shame that they weren't treated to a performance that was as on fire as that stadium was. It was unbelievable, and I can only imagine the pop when Malik Tillman scored that free kick must have been incredible, but hopefully changes come in the next 4 years, and we could be talking about a deeper run come 4 years in the future.
Yeah, well, here come Common now onto the pitch as they walk alongside the starters for Grand Rapids. That will be announced momentarily. There's Vias Papadudis in the all-neon get-up. That guy's been wonderful all season long for Lansing Common. And, of course, to Groenveld for the visitors in the all-red kit.
Donning the third kit today instead of the traditional red for the Robins.
This one's my favorite.
I say I'm a big fan of this kit. I think there's a clear difference in terms of kits on the pitch, and I'm a big fan of every kit that Lansing Common has produced.
But I will say I respect, I think it was Josh Pugh and I think we were playing 1927, and they had these checkered kits that kind of faded into a white jersey, and it was white numbers on them too. So it was super hard to sort of keep track of.
Oh, gosh.
And the nice part about these Lansing Common kits is that it's a very eclectic, awesome look. But then the numbers are a straight solid color on a black background on the back of the jersey. So it's very easy to identify.
Yes.
So I'll give the Moneyball Sports Design credit.
Making our job easy.
Right, exactly.
Giving us a nice sight for the eyes in terms of jersey, but easy for us broadcasters up here and being able to identify numbers.
Midfielder number 9, Tevin Jones.
Keys for the Robins today, partner, and I know you mentioned fast start, but the offense, to put it bluntly, has just been dormant in the last 2 weeks. I mean, like we mentioned earlier, 1 goal through 2 games. It's the worst scoring performance in 2 weeks all season long, and they've given up 7, so it's not like the defense has been any better, albeit 6 of those games were in 1 game. But goals today for the Robins, what do they have to be?
It has to be identifying the weak point early on. Every team has one, and coaches talk about this all the time. Players talk about this all the time. Identify the weak point and attack. You have two or three players that have the creativity and the freedom to attack at the players. Jason Janoski, Elijah View, Carter Hagan. They have the freedom, and if you can identify one of the weak points in that defense, go attack at them and try and make them get off balance, show off the technical footwork, get there, and then supply the numbers into the box. Extreme Hulk has been a prolific goal scorer this entire season, Maybe not so much the last couple games, but he can show his quality. And then especially when you're talking about the defensive side, take your time, be composed. As much as, not sure how much pressure Grand Rapids SC is going to really put on you, especially with that formation I talked about earlier, 5-3-2. So you have the experience in Kevin Payne, and then you have Damien Adai that can offer that athleticism alongside Kevin Payne. So it's really about if you can maintain a good start and having relative ease at the back line.
A midfielder from East Lansing, number 16.
Trying to break the hearts of Robins fans and thwart the title aspirations are the visitors from Grand Rapids. They look to do it in back-to-back seasons, and boy, if they can do that, there will be a real hatred for the team down I-96 for Robins fans. If Grand Rapids can storm in here and ruin for a second consecutive season what would be a late charge for the championship. But they look to do it. TJ Van Sluten leads this team into Lansing with a mindset of play for pride and play the role of spoiler. We shall see what the result turns out to be.
A midfielder for Grand Rapids SC, Seth Russ, former Lansing Common player. I know that this will be very personal for him to potentially thwart any chance for the Common to get a chance to play for a championship title. I know that'll be especially on his mind to do that.
Crowd is filling in quite nicely on this Friday night. Josh mentioned Friday nights usually bring out the fans, and it's been good so far. If you've missed us, well, we're back, folks. A fantastic broadcast against Goshen City by Josh Pugh and the Lugnuts legend Jesse Goldberg Strasser. It was wonderful to hear his voice on the airwaves, and of course it's always great to hear Josh Pugh's fantastic takes on a microphone. I must say it's one of the highlights of my summer when I get to hear him talk on a microphone. It's very enjoyable.
Josh Pugh has
working with
his
him
takes.
is awesome. Oh, totally.
He has his
totally,
takes.
yes. Deservedly so. Well, we're talking about the World Cup, and I'm sure we'll use the hydration breaks to talk more other sports, but man, oh man, what a game between Argentina and Egypt the other day. I mean, Messi has just cemented himself as one of the, if he already isn't one of the greatest football player in the history of the world. And at least it's, you know, him and Pele, it's like a LeBron Jordan debate, essentially. And, you know, I grew up watching LeBron James, and I've grown up watching Messi, of course. And he just, not only is he so good on the pitch, but he also, he has the ability to rally a country. And of course, him and Pelé did the same thing with Brazil. But just to see Messi unite a nation, just so cool to see every 4 years.
And I love how, for Messi in particular, I love how it's always about the group. It's never really about him. It's always about the group. Every interview, it's we, not me, we. I love that. But I have to give commiserations to Egypt because, in my opinion, they did enough to at least get that thing plus 90 minutes. They deserved to earn extra time. Arguably, they should have had a third goal. That's just my opinion, but it was an excellent game to watch. I thoroughly enjoyed watching all of it, and if that's only the round of 16, I can only imagine what the quarterfinal game brings, semifinal, and third place, and the World Cup final. Yeah,
we were sitting on the couch, and we were having a family gathering that day, and my mom and I were watching, and it was 2-1 at the time. And I was like, could you imagine? And my mom doesn't really watch soccer that much, and so I was filling her in on just sort of like the background of this game and how Egypt is, significantly, not favored against Argentina, and how Messi is, who he is and sort of the thing. And I said, could you imagine, Mom, if this is probably his last World Cup and he scores this goal to tie the game? And I kid you not, his kickoff is underway here at Eastern Stadium. He scored like 30 seconds later, and it was just like, this is the epitome of World Cup soccer, and we're underway here in Midwest Premier League play from Eastern Stadium. Here comes Elijah View, quickly working in the final third, crosses it in. Janowski overshoots the net by a hair, and oh my goodness, only 20 seconds in, first real chance and a beauty, almost from Jason Janowski.
And it was exactly how I said it was. You get those three behind Extreme Hauk, who plays it into Elijah View, stayed on side, great run from the number 5. And he ended up playing it alongside in a perfect weighted ball. It couldn't have been an easier placement for Janowski. Just leaning a little too far back, got a little too much sky underneath it, but fast start. Can you keep it up?
Payne plays it in. Hear the drums beating in the background, smoke flying in the air. This is arguably the largest crowd we've seen on hand before kickoff, and fans still filing in as the Robins have already applied the pressure. Only a minute in to the first half of this match. It's Damian Adai. It's been a staple and an anchor as Elijah View streaks up the far side. It's out of play, and it'll retain and stay with Common. Josh Angel Craven on the throw-in, a native of Plymouth, England, Cleary University Cougar. Him, Archie Tyers, and Jed Blau all play their college ball in Howell, Michigan. Out of the back line, and the visitors will take over.
Again, Elijah View really having a big impact within this first 2 minutes, making great runs in from behind, which you would expect from the striker, but Elijah View almost playing as a shadow striker, playing in behind Extreme Hawk and taking those runs that Extreme Hawk offers to one side and going to the other.
Now, no whistle there, so the play continues. Referee not seeing any contact that wasn't legal, as now the Robins will reset with a die. Amir Shataya. Now Kevin Payne, the anchor, the big man on the defensive side of things for the Robins. Niagara University, Purple Eagles is where he calls his home collegiately, and a native of Jackson, Michigan. Here's Elijah View. He's so shifty and speedy. And Janowski, hands in the air, calls for it across the field. This one sent inside to Jack Heel. The whistle looks like he was offside. Visitors will take over.
I'm loving, though, the runs in behind from not only just Extreme Hawk. It seems like Extreme Hawk is playing like almost a center attacking mid-roll or false nine, where he's dropping back and setting up play for his other players. And in particular, Elijah View has made some great runs off the ball. You see the guy on the ball now, Jason Janowski. He's done a great job so far. So you can see that there's something a little bit different. Extreme Hawk's been a little bit of a talisman and being in the box, but if he's dropping back and allowing the creativity between the wingers and the center attacking.
Yeah, it just shows you his versatility. Not only can he score it with prowess, but his ability to set his teammates up is a very unselfish tactic. And he really has been a factor on all different fronts, like you mentioned, Josh, as the visitors try to set it up. Kevin Payne, though, defensively, knocks it out of play. It looked like he was a goal-scoring machine. It looked like he would, be a given to score any game. Has slowed that down, but like Josh said, is now sort of focused his playing style on the collective unit. Not that his goal-scoring prowess was not benefiting the team, but now it's kind of where his head lies, as Lansing Common with a quick early opportunity. So far, nothing since. And there is a whistle a little later than Extreme Hawk would have wanted. Nonetheless, the visitors will take back over. Now, a few fouls already early on the Robins.
Get a sense for how the referee's going to call this game, and unless it's absolutely egregious, and you can obviously tell that it should be a foul, it seems like he's going to keep his whistle in his pocket. And for some people, they like that style where the referee keeps himself out of the game, but sometimes there's clear fouls that some people feel that go uncalled.
So that's Papadudis getting his first touch of the ball game. Common fans remember his 12-save heroic effort earlier this season. Just fantastic work. So now here's Amir Shataya. East Lansing native, right down the road. This one played all the way to Carter Hagan on the far side, makes a move, crosses it towards the box. And a nice defensive play right there from Will Edwards to thwart it. Now Common still take over. And offside once more. Josh Angel Craven that time. So on back-to-back possessions in the final third. Common get called for offside, and the visitors will take back over.
And I think that's just Carter Hagan being a little too unselfish there. I think you had time, you had space. Trust your ability, trust your footwork, trust your technical ability, and rip one from distance. Really put some pressure on the goalkeeper and make him get involved into the game. Shots on target are the only way to get a goal in.
Say Ian Gunderson knocking it around with the noggin now, and then Jack Groenveld controls and sets back up for the visitors. Again, only 6 points in league play, dead last in the Great Lakes West Division, but trying to play spoiler here on the road. The win here in this match for Common. They'll catapult to first place with 19 points, but that all lies, at least the first place standing lies, the hands of Goshen City FC, who play tomorrow. And that results, and I'm sure that game live stream will be watched by all Common faithful. Jack Heald, Mansfield, England native, another player who's been so good in terms of leadership-wise this season. Josh, so many players we've seen take a step up in terms of that. Spencer Powell, of course, one of the main leaders for this team, has been out of the lineup for the last few weeks, and players have had to step up. There's Papadutas stepping himself right up and corralling that ball to prevent the danger from occurring. But Kevin Payne has been a leader, but players like Jason Janowski and Extreme Hawk have really stepped it up and sort of become staples of Common this year.
And yeah, and I think that's due to the fact that they have more experience than they did last year. They've another year under their belt. They know what the heartbreak of last season did. It was just a somber mood that last game day, knowing that this was it and there wasn't an opportunity to play for more. So they know what's on the line, and they know that they got to play with heart, and they have to step up. Some of these players, first season, and make sure that they can understand what's really on the line. Especially, you want your summer to be worth something in the end, and not just to play games, just to maintain fitness.
And here come Grand Rapids streaking down into the box, and Kevin Payne, Amir Shataya, and Damian Adai will collapse and prevent that offensive charge at the hands of Kevin Shema. Janowski. A deke, a view, couldn't get a hold of it, and now the visitors take back over. And Payne will track it down, as will Papadutas, but you're right, the heartbreak of last season, I wasn't around to see it, but I heard all about it, and that is enough for me to understand how unfortunate it was for Robin Soccer. But now a chance as they approach here with just under 10 minutes gone by in this game. Janowski crosses it towards, that one a little high and off the back line.
See, in that case, I would have rather the flip-flop with what Janowski just did with what Carter Hagan did. I don't mind going for a shot there, but Janowski had players on him. It was even further out. For Carter Hagan, he was just on the outside of the box. He had time, space, and he could have really put a beautiful shot into the top left corner. Would have rather switched it there, but to give the creative freedom to the players. And for Grand Rapids, it seems as if their only real opportunities are going to come from individual moments. You saw Kevin Shema do some beautiful footwork there to get himself a chance, get snuffed out by Robbins players. But you're seeing the different styles in the first 10 minutes here of how they're going to approach this game.
And you saw it even before the game began with just the formations. I mean, 5 back is a very unique formation, and you mentioned it early on. So more conservative base play for the visitors, as fortunately Amir Shataya trips up, and the visitors will take over, at least for the moment. And some confusion on the pitch as to how the referee has ruled it. And now I guess it will be Robbins' possession. Very interesting. It looked like Shataya was the last one to touch it as it rolled out of play.
Looked very clear that that should have been a Grand Rapids player ball. I'm not sure if he's deeming that maybe it wasn't out of play totally. They just reacted to the hands going up from Grand Rapids, but interesting call there. It seemed quite clear that that was out of Shatia.
Yeah, nonetheless, possession Common as they try to work something here. Trying to kickstart An absent offense the last 2 weeks are the Robins. And here is Heald. The strength and aggression on full display. This one's over to Janowski. Crosses it towards Hagan in there to try to make something happen. It'll be off his back and off the back line. The visitors take over once again. But the silver lining for the first 10 minutes is that chances galore for the home team.
Yeah, completely. And you're getting off-ball runs from players that you don't expect. You normally expect the 4 up top between Extreme Hawk. You'd have Jason Janowski, Elijah View, and Carter Hagan doing those off-ball runs. But Jack Heald offering something from the center defensive mid and getting up forward so that you can potentially, if you wanted to cross it low on the ground, get a foot on it, or if you wanted to go up top, Jack Heald's got the athleticism to jump up with anybody. I wouldn't say Cohen Carr he would jump with, but I'd say he could jump with almost anybody in this league.
Yeah, we'll see how Cohen Carr and the Spartans shape up to be next year. Anticipated to be ranked inside the top 10 again in the preseason. Last year started 22nd. This year a little boost. A top 5 recruiting class coming in for head coach Tom Izzo, over 30 seasons at the helm in East Lansing. We'll see what the green and white can do in a jam-packed non-conference schedule. Right now the focus is on summer soccer in the Midwest Premier League. Lansing Common specifically. Currently in 3rd on the table. Trying to make a late season push and rebound from a mid-season slump, and that's what's haunted this club year in and year out. A Diane Shataya, a little 2-man game on the near side. Here is Janowski, tripped up. It looked like he may have hit his head down on the turf in the process, and Janowski's still down.
Looked like the defender went studs up on Janowski. Wonder if we can get a look at that one. It looked like here, let's take a look here. Amir Shatia, beautiful little run, trying to play on Janowski. And yeah, he had studs up right into the ankle of Jason Janowski. That's definitely going to leave a mark. Janowski able to muster up some energy and continue going on, but definitely studs up, and it's not even a foul. They're calling it a throw-in for the Robins.
Gorgeous replay look from Scotty O back there in our press box. Very awesome, the variety of trinkets and things that he's been able to put into our broadcast. Crossed into the box off the head of Extreme Hawk. He's still fighting for it.
Good stuff there from Extreme Hawk.
And
Jason
looks like it's going to be a corner. Yeah, most definitely.
Jason Janowski, you can see maybe he was a little timid to go in for that ball after just taking studs up right to the ankle. But Extreme Hawk, noticing that it went off a Grand Rapids player, shielding that ball and allowing to go out for a corner kick and allowing the big man to get up top, and Kevin Payne and Jack Heald. Like I said, Jack Heald can jump with anybody. See if they can find the head of the number 8.
Janowski trying to use the solid boot. Crosses it towards the net off a body. This one cleared by Grand Rapids for the moment. And then sent out of play again. So the first corner amounts to nothing for the Robins, but they do still have possession here. 14 minutes and 12 seconds gone.
That ball hit every single advertisement on the bottom of the screen, or just below the screen. That takes some effort to be able to do that.
Eastside Fish Fry, LAFCU, Ozone's Brewhouse, and Moneyball Sports, we're all getting some love. Big part of the reason why this thing is able to operate in the first place. Here's Janowski, social media star like Josh mentioned. He's also one on the pitch. Tripped up there and losing possession of it, and now the visitors come the other way. Always a response from Common, though, has been the theme the first 15 minutes. Only one real chance for Grand Rapids, and that was when Kevin Shema tried some shake and bake and got all the way down to the box before meeting Kevin Payne. Dribbled right out of bounds, and now Robins will move quickly to Elijah View. Janowski, tons of space on the near side, but it looks like they tell the Robin to slow down. Amir crosses it over to Kevin Payne. Carter Hagan, Elijah View trying to get in there. Big body of Zahidic, able to knock that one away. Significant size advantage on Elijah View. It pays off. Visitors able to possess it for a moment before Payne and company able to get it back. Here is the aforementioned Elijah View. Over to Amir Shataya. Janowski has some space on the near side. He finds him and works. Now inside to Extreme Hauk. He's doubled and then taken away. The ball looks like it's off the visitors, so Common keeps possession. A little late call there. The flag goes up in the favor of the home team.
Looks like the referee is going to be relying on his assistants to making a lot of decisions for him. He had the initial arm up saying it was off of the Robins and looked over to his assistant referee on this near side, and he ended up ultimately switching the decision. Looks like it's going to be that type of game where the ref's looking for some assistance.
Teamwork makes the dream work. This ball, though, nicely defended by Kevin Shema, and it goes out of play. So a corner upcoming for the Robins. Their second of the match so far here in this first half, an 0-0 game between Lansing and Grand Rapids. GRSC plays an hour away, up I-96. Crosser towards the box, nobody home. Deflected out there, but Joey Farhat controls. Here's Adai. Off the head of Carson Robotham. And Adai will play it back to Vios Papadudis. Here come the visitors. Quickly taken away by Lansing Common. Again, trying to ignite a dormant offense and get back into the scoring column. Here's a chance right here. A nice outstretched effort, though, from Groenveld to knock it away and prevent Jack Heald, Extreme Hauk, from working anything on the run out.
That was an excellently timed run from Jack Heald and great communication there. And he was completely onside, but Groenveld did the right thing and coming on out. It was really one-on-one with him. If he didn't come out, Jack Heald had all goal to work with. So great job from Groenveld to get on out and just clear the danger. Otherwise, it'd be 1-0 Robins right now.
Looks like that one's off of Grand Rapids, and Kevin Payne signaling it and getting it correctly. Officials agreeing, and so when play goes on, here's Elijah View running and streaking. Groenveld able to knock it away out of play. Kevin Shema's hustle, something to be noted through the first 20 minutes of this game. Can somebody stop Goshen? Is the theme of the season. Lansing Common trying to be that team. So far, Goshen in the driver's seat. Extreme Hauk, head of the defense, now on the near side, inside the corner. Knocked out of play by Will Edwards. Thought it might have gone off the left leg of Extreme Hauk, but a third corner opportunity here in this first half for Lansing Common. Let's see how they decide to play this one. Just under 20 minutes gone.
Third one's got to be much better than the second one. Get the ball on top of Jack Heald or Kevin Payne's head.
Sends it in. This one knocked up into the air by Groenveld. And then a little bit of a mistimed opportunity from Amir Shataya. And there we go, 0 for 3 now on corners for Common.
Never great for confidence when you're taking a shot from outside the box and it goes out for a throw-in. Never great for the confidence, but I love the confidence to take it and put a boot through the ball. Maybe next time it'll be more in the favor and go towards the target of the goal.
A for effort? Sure.
Yeah, maybe
B?
D minus for execution. Don't
Sure.
love that it almost
Sure.
went to a couple interns sitting on the left side, right over by the sleds for football. not great for the confidence.
It's all right. I'm in favor of wacky stuff like that because in the event that it worked, it would have been something that's talked about for weeks.
Agreed.
Farhat takes it taken away by the visitors. Whistle blows. The official's gonna rule possession the visitors. A foul actually called on Jack Heald.
Referee seems to be getting things a bit confused through the first 20 minutes. He just favored that the free kick was going in favor of the Robins. It's signaling that potentially it was Grand Rapids dive. Instead flipped his mind and said that it was a free kick for Grand Rapids, signaling a foul on Jack Heald. So signal's getting a little confused for the man in green in the middle of the pitch.
Mixed signals, something you should not send if you're trying to date somebody. Here come the visitors now, sends it towards Papadudis and a diving save effort into the chest to prevent a 1-0 lead for the visitors. Papadudis showcasing why he has been the anchor between the sticks for the home team.
And that's so tough there, where if you're Papadudis, you really haven't had to do much all game. You've been kind of quiet, haven't had to do anything, and being able to come up with a big save in a big moment like that, really impressive stuff from Vias.
Here's Shataya, now Janowski. Here's Janowski, sends it across the pitch. Cross towards the box, nobody there. Kept alive by Elijah View. Man, so shifty down on the pitch for the home team. A 0-0 game. Lansing Common fighting for their lives and trying to make the postseason and the title game against Pontiac, who has wrapped up that East Division with ease. 10-point lead over the second place team for them. And a whistle. Looks like it will be a free kick for the home team.
And it looks like Grand Rapids is just trying to make this game very physical. They're trying to throw off the Robins in any way possible they can, getting some little shoves in the back late just to get them to get off their game a little bit. Important for the Robins to stay grounded despite any late little efforts coming their way.
Here come Grand Rapids. Kevin Payne, always on the hustle bus, but his counterpart in Kevin Shema able to get there first. Shema tosses it towards the net. Lots of space, got to be careful. Nice defensive effort right there for the Robins. That could have been dangerous right there for Seth Ross. A man we mentioned early on. Could have had a chance against the Robins, but nothing to show for it, but a throw-in for the visitors. Payne plays that one defensively. Joey Farhat as well. Physicality right there for the visitors and Arman Zahidic. Common just trying to get it out of the offensive threat for the visitors, and Groenveld launching this one out of play. You got to be careful if you're playing ladder ball over there on the right-hand side.
Either a little ladder ball or cornhole, I believe, going on down there. Maybe you got a three-pointer, you got one in the hole with the soccer ball.
Looks like that was Eric Walcott's son that had a ladder ball in the left hand and a soccer ball in the right, able to toss that one back to the official, and play resumes here. Just under 25 minutes gone by. Oh, man, got to be frustrated with that down there. Josh Angel Craven had all the space in the world if he was able to have a couple steps on that one. Nonetheless, visitors take over.
Little things. The little things are not going in the favor of the Robins to get that first goal. Definitely have been dominant, but now it seems like Grand Rapids is really growing into this game and playing the way that they want. They've really had to be forced onto the counterattack with Kevin Shema showing the ability and the speed. They're looking to play long and direct and trying to get mistakes like Damien Adai almost made just there.
It could have been dangerous, but Kevin Payne able to get the ball out of harm's way. Now streaking up the near side for the visitors is Brady Musser, who just 5 minutes before the game was able to be given a jersey number, wearing number 15 down there. Showed up late, so some rush hour traffic heading to Lansing. But in the starting lineup for the visitors. Now here's a die. And Kevin Payne. You know, over these past 2 weeks, I was thinking to myself, man, I wonder what sort of pull Steve Beckman would have to get a red card overturned in this league. I wonder what he could possibly say to have that happen for us, because that would be sweet if something would occur like that here in this league.
Instead of free flow, maybe it's free Damien Adai
Sure,
or free Jack Heel. Instead of the hashtag free flow trending, it's one of our players getting the hashtag for freedom.
Yeah.
Hey, especially late on this season, any overturned red card could mean the difference for a league title.
Sure. We'll say, though, it was cool to see Flo play and, you know, have that moment with his team, albeit an unfortunate result for the U.S., but such a good player he is.
Shame he got no service. He's such a good player.
Absolutely.
He just didn't get as much service as he's gotten in the group stage games. But, man, what a special talent the United States got on their hands for the next couple summers.
Yeah, no doubt. Here's Elijah View with a chance. This one slotted home. It's View. 1-0 Robins.
Excellent stuff there from Elijah View. Looked over to the far side official to look if he was offside. Says he's not. Takes his time. Slots it into the bottom left corner. Excellent stuff from the number 5. 1-0 Lansing Common on top of Grand Rapids. Can they keep this going? Don't take your foot off the gas. Continue to push forward.
Hustling up and down the pitch for the last 30 minutes was number 5 and finally gets it paid off. Breaks the ice on the scoreboard, 1-0, favoring the Robins. First lead in a long time. Gotta feel good for this squad and Coach Sorg.
Completely. Gives yourself some confidence knowing that you can put the ball in the back of the net and you can trust yourselves. But look to see what Grand Rapids does in this first couple minutes and see how they try and shift this game back in their favor to make this a tied game.
Here's Kevin Shema, who's been very active, misplayed by Seth Ross and taken back over by Carson Robotham. Crosses it over, Kevin Payne defensively. Visitors still inside the box. Still with it, a chance sets over shot from Kevin Shema. A couple of chances for him, man, he's just been everywhere. Papadoudas watches it sail over the head and off the back line.
Now look to see how Grand Rapids sets off with this. They got the possession off the kickoff. They were able to control how they wanted to play here. How do they play now? Do they go right back to that defensive style that they've been playing where they try and go for the counterattack, the long ball? Or do they offer a bit of a press here and switch from a 5-back formation and try and maybe get one of those wing backs to jump further up and put more pressure along the back line for the Robins?
Here's Payne. Now to Extreme. Goal scorer moments ago in Elijah View. Space now for Amir Shataya and goes out of play.
Interesting to note for Grand Rapids, they're not really having a press on, but they're allowing the center backs to almost get up. They don't want the Robins going through the middle of the field. They really are forcing them to go out wide. See if you can see it here. You can see Seth Russ kind of occupying the middle of that space, not allowing them to go wide. Fortunately for the Robins, Carter Hagan got it now.
There's a chance for Josh Angel Craven. Crosses it towards off the head! Unbelievable stuff. Josh Angel Craven, a slicer of a pass. And Extreme pays it off. It's 2-0.
Beautiful little pass in behind from Hagan into Angel Craven. Perfect little cross onto the head of Extreme Hauk. Just past the outstretched arms of Groeneveld. Robins on top, too. And it feels like the Robins may have gotten their mojo back after the last couple games.
Beautiful. That's how I can describe that. My goodness.
That was unbelievable. Quick pace right off a goal. And like I said, keeping the foot on the gas, not letting up. Again, those runs in behind, so important in soccer. and every Robin doing it, not only from center, defensive mid, striker, you've even got the right back making runs in behind to get open.
Now 2-0, 15 more minutes of regular time here in this first half of action.
In the 30th minute by number 9, Extreme Hawk.
Very
Assisted by number 12, Josh Angel
common
Craven.
name that is said in terms of goal scoring is Extreme Hawk. We were just talking about his sort of game development and how he's become a little bit more of a pass-first player, and then, of course, right on cue scores in this match against Grand Rapids.
Great stuff there from Kevin Payne just on that last possession, being a center back. Not expected to really step up. Stepped up on the first play and saw that the ball was still loose. Stepped up again, got the foot involved. Just showing the experience and the leadership quality that you expect out of big number 25.
How can the visitors respond? Quickly in a deficit, here's Kevin Payne, just using that strength. Oh man, Josh gives a chuckle to my right, and for good reason. Kevin Payne just...
I wonder if we can get a quick look back at this one. You see the throw in here from Grand Rapids. Great stuff from Amir Shatia. And the new sub, Lincoln Martinez, just goes for a piggyback ride on Kevin Payne. Correct call, no doubt that that's a foul, but he saw how tall Kevin Payne is and he wanted to be as tall as him, I guess.
I'll give A for effort on that one. If you can't automatically grow, you might as well climb, I guess, in a sense.
That's one way to do it.
Sure, sure. Drums beating, fans in a good mood. For the first time in what feels like forever, Lansing Common seems like they have put themselves in the driver's seat. Visitors trying to respond. Here's Kevin Payne, but up the far side come Grand Rapids. Payne again defensively in there and making the moves. Now it's out to Kevin Schema. Schema across the pitch now to Brady Musser. Musser towards the box. This one played nice defensively by Lansing Common. Looks like they're going to give him the call. So that was Joey Farhat. Put his hand in the air. The whistle blows.
Again, you've seen the experience of Kevin Payne there, staying, put just a foot in, didn't get studs up or anything, just put a foot in, got Grand Rapids off their game. They wanted to go quick, wanted to go on the counterattack, and they had to kind of set up, and that's where you've seen that they haven't been as strong as Robins. Robins are able to set up and get beautiful crosses into the box. Not so much for Grand Rapids, Kevin Payne throwing them off their game.
Long stretch pass to Extreme. Him and Elijah View on the scoreboard here for Lansing Common. View just after the 20th minute, and Extreme in the 30th minute. That's all the action we've seen on the scoreboard as Amir throws it in to Farhat. Kevin Payne down to Angel Craven, who's got some space towards the box. Nobody home, and this one is into the hands of Groenveld. Jason Janowski had a little bit of space, but couldn't really get the angle up in the air.
Looked like Janowski wasn't sure if he had enough time to be able to take a touch on it or if he could go one time with it, so he opted for the one-timer. Probably should have gone to the far post instead of the near post. Groenveld looked pretty close to this near side on us. But still, plethora of chances for the Robins, and that's exactly what you want to see after one goal in the last two games.
Armand Zahidic here to put a boot to leather now. This one skied into the air towards the box, nicely defended. And there's Jack Heald, Elijah View, Damian Adai, and now Janowski controls on the near side. Plays it back to Shataya. Now here's Elijah View. Slicing and dicing his way through the defense. Only way you can stop him is to trip him up. We've got a whistle.
Great technical footwork there from Elijah View. Really forcing Grand Rapids on their heels here. See, makes one man miss, makes another miss. Makes a third miss, gets clipped down by that other outswinging leg. Still a little distance out, but we've seen distance free kicks, especially in the World Cup. Someone in red, white, and blue, and Malik Tillman, made his money this summer doing that. See if somebody in all sorts of colors for the Robins can make their money today.
You know, if somebody can perfectly execute and replicate Malik Tillman's free kick that he scored on that clipped the head of the Belgian defender.
That was unbelievable.
That would be a sight to see here at Eastern Stadium, and my goodness.
I believe Josh...
Send it into SportsCenter Top 10. We'll have Scott send it in after the game if that somehow happens.
I believe Josh Angel Craven and Jack Heald just did rock, paper, scissors.
Here we go. That one is off the head, but a little higher than it was for Tillman, off the back line, out of play, but have the fourth corner of the evening for Common.
As I was saying, I think they just did rock, paper, scissors to determine who was taking that free kick.
Got to do what you got to do.
It's finding a fair way for someone to take the free kick.
Sure. So Angel Craven will watch as Janowski will toss it in from the near corner. This one off the head of a racing Jack Heald.
That's exactly what you want there. Jack Heald had acres of space. All you need is really just a glancing header to put it back to the far post to put Groenveld off. Great set play there. Just didn't have the execution on the final product.
Goal kick coming for Jack Groenveld. The drums beating as he skies this one into the crisp 78-degree Lansing air. Far hat to Angel Craven. We talked about the dormant offense for LCFC as, my goodness.
That one's in the baseball stadium.
Damian Adai just said, you know what? Just toss this one aside.
And I believe either Eric Walcott or Josh Pugh is making their way to go find that ball as they head out the stadium, as you see by that score bug.
My gosh, it's probably still rolling. He just decided to give it all he got. This one towards the box, and Vyasa will clean it up. Janowski with tons of space on the near side if he can get it out of there. He'll decide to opt to play back to Amir. Here's Janowski. Now to Elijah View. Quickly up the pitch come Elijah View and company as he's kind of knocked back by a couple of defenders in Ian Gunderson and Jose Ivan. Janowski still in possession of it, trampled down, keeps it for the Robins.
And it looks like Eric Walcott has retrieved that ball that was blasted out of the stadium by Damian Adai.
Takes a village here at Eastern Stadium. Eric Walcott able to retrieve that soccer ball, and every ball counts. They're not cheap these days.
Nothing is cheap these days.
Fair enough. Except for stuff with a surplus store, which you can go get a discount. I'm sure Sadie would like that I just mentioned that. Give her some free press.
Free marketing. Free marketing.
Oh, man. Put on my PR voice. For a very low, low price of $19.99, you can get yourself a brand new bed frame for your dorm. That one out of play. 5 minutes to go until we'll see how much added time is put onto the clock in this first half. 2-0 the score, favoring the home team. The Robins finally in the driver's seat after a couple weeks absence, scoring at will for 10 minutes or so in this game. Very close together were the 2 goals for the Robins. Tripped up. Now play resumes for Amir Shataya on the near side. He's got Janowski to his left. He opts to go back middle. See if this can pay off with Elijah View. A pop pass into the box that doesn't really go anywhere, and Ian Gunderson will take control. He's actually now down on the ground. I hope he's okay. Looks like he'll come to his feet, but a 5th corner for the Robins. 0 for 4 so far on the day.
And it looked like that was just a bit of indecision on what to do there. It looked like he may have thought that he was closer to the byline and could have let it roll out for a goal kick, but then he realized that he wasn't as close and he had to play that ball. He ended up just stamping on it, may have tweaked, maybe rolled his ankle on there. That's why you see he's kind of holding that ankle gingerly.
Robins opt to play it short. This one towards the box. Extreme had a chance at it. Now Janowski with lots of space north of the box, blocked away. Great defensive effort right there for the visitors and Lincoln Martinez. Commons still have possession of it. Here's Kevin Payne finding himself down there. Farhat crosses it towards Payne, a chance, blocked away. Robins applying the pressure with Shataya. Now it's Angel Craven, another defensive stand. That time at the hands of Jose Ivan, and my goodness, talk about defense. Grand Rapids SC.
Grade A chances there for the Robins. Kevin Payne was essentially at that middle point of the S and I in the Lansing with a chance to kick it in and just couldn't get it out at the right foot.
Can they capitalize on their 6th corner of the first half? Here come the Robins, tripped up, no call, and taking it away is Kevin Shema. It's 7 earlier on this season in a friendly, but I believe this is the most corner attempts in a single first half in league play this year for the Robins. So wait for them to build chances offensively. Have not converted on any yet, but nonetheless have given themselves the opportunity to. Here's Damian Adai to Kevin Payne. And now for Josh Angel Craven. A beauty of an assist to Extreme Hawk earlier. Now him and Payne just kind of backyard balling it, kicking it back and forth before he does advance it up to Carter Hagan. Hagan over to Extreme, chasing after it, using the speed is Angel Craven. He will not get there in time. Goal kick.
And that time, had enough pace on it where you could just let that one go out. Not make any rash decisions on it. And the Robins still going to put on a press with 1 more minute to go. The patent and press that you've seen all in European soccer, got brought over here to the United States thanks to Mauricio Pochettino. And it's been really working in the favor of the Robins all season long.
Now here's Elijah View. Some high pressure defensively. 40 seconds until the end of regular time. Not many stoppages here in this first half, so we'll see how long the extra frame is at the end of this first half. Jack Groenveld. Kevin Shema on the far side. He gets it taken away by Carter Hagan. Extreme Hawk, goal scorer earlier. Back to Angel Craven. Angel Craven pops it up. Carter Hagan able to retrieve it just on the sideline. Whistle blows, foul called. Possession common. We've reached the 45-minute mark.
Looks like the referee just put up a 1 finger, so it looks like he's signaling 1 extra minute of time to be added onto his watch.
And we'll see if Common can take advantage of that 1 minute here. Be on the advantage for as long as they can. Here comes Jack Heald. Heald into Farhat, now back outside to Heald. Kevin Payne able to control it. Our man Zahidic gave chase for a little bit, and now it's Damian Adai. Common taking their time. Adai chooses to go now. Angel Craven saves it from going out of that sideline into the box. Nobody home, and it's picked up by Groenveld. That looks like that will be the end of the first half here at Eastern Stadium. A dominant one for the home team, 2-0 in favor of Lansing Common. Quick thoughts.
Domination. They've really done a great job in terms of what I said for the keys for the game. They got up to a really fast start, had chances within the first 5 minutes. Within the first 20 seconds of the game, had a great chance for Jason Janowski. Got 2 goals, well earned. They've done a great job staying composed. Vias Papadoudas hasn't had to do much, but when he's been called upon, staying sharp, being ready. The Robins have really earned their 2 goals. See what they can do in the after the 15-minute break.
Josh and I will be back for the second half of action between Lansing Common and Grand Rapids. A massive game for the Robins as they look to continue their title push. Can the visitors come back from this 2-0 hole and play spoiler? We will see in the next 45 and change when we come back right here on LCFC TV. Welcome back to Eastern Stadium. Jack Bowinkle, Josh Lee. Lansing Common holds a 2-0 lead over Grand Rapids SC. And my friend, we talked about thoughts at the conclusion of the half, but now for those just joining us, a little bit of a recap and thoughts to this second half to close it out and get the first victory in 3 weeks.
Keep up the same ability that you did in the first half. Continue to put the pressure on Grand Rapids FC. They really haven't had a quality chance. I'd say they had really one against Vias Papadudis earlier on in the contest, but that was really it. And continue to do what you've been doing. You got the same, basically the entire same starting lineup out there. Jack Heald, we saw him when we were making our way back up to the booth. Encouraged him to continue going forward the way he has been. So I expect the same really this half, unless Grand Rapids SC has come out in a whole new different style, but it's going to be Lansing Common ball. And I expect they're going to pin him deep and try and put on the press again like they did in the first half.
The first 20 minutes were a figure-it-out period for both teams before Lansing Common was able to do just that. 2 goals in just under 10 minutes to secure the 2-0 lead they have here. Now look to play another solid half. This time moving left to right, visitors opposite right to left. Vias Papadudis will trot his way down to the goalposts. Jack Groenveld. And a couple of nice saves, but Common were able to get past him twice. And that's where we stand right now. Ball toss at halftime is success. Every single prize that was set out was won, so well done to all the fans and kids in attendance participating in a very excited crowd on hand this Friday night in Lansing. Play resumes now in the second half. Again, Jack Bowinkle, Josh Lee to bring you all the action live right here on the Lansing Common FC stream. Thanks to all of you joining us, spending your Friday evening, morning, afternoon, regardless of where you are in the world, your time with us here to watch some Lansing Common soccer in a massive game. Try to catapult themselves to first place, at least for the moment, with a victory here against Grand Rapids. Visitors trying to play spoiler, and that's been the theme all broadcast. Now here they come up the near side, trying to kickstart something, but Kevin Payne, who's made a plethora of defensive plays so far this game, in the way of that one. Carson Robotham unable to chase it down. Lansing Common will take back over.
Looks like Robinson made a substitution on this near side. Charlie Ahern into the game for Jason Janowski. It looks like also Joey Farhat has made way as well. So a couple substitutions, getting some fitness in there, trying to get, especially it's not a really hot day, but it still feels you can still feel the moisture in the air today.
It looks like Andy Ignatovich has made his way onto the playing surface. Elijah View applying the pressure. Now it's back into the possession of Carter Hagan. Hagan over to Elijah View, shifting his way through defenders into the box. Look at him go. He's tripped up in the box. No call. Bench can't believe it for the Robins, as that would have been a clear penalty chance for Elijah View. Nonetheless, the Robins control, but man, oh man, sandwich between a couple of defenders and no whistle from the referee.
It looked like he was claiming that even though the Grand Rapids defender came from behind, it looks like he's saying that he won the ball in the process. So you gotta be really careful in those ones if you're Grand Rapids. If you're going to come from behind like you just did, gotta be careful and make sure you actually win the ball. Otherwise, it's a stonewall penalty coming.
There's the newcomer, Charlie Ahern, in this second half. Making his first appearance of the match. Here's Ahern, a little back and forth up the near side. This one caroms off a leg and into possession of Groenveld. And Lincoln Martinez, a substitute in the first half, getting the second half nod. In the starting 11, wearing 11 for Martinez. This one off the noggin of Josh Angel Craven. picturesque night here in Lansing. Wind has calmed down. The weather temperature has dropped to a comfortable 77 degrees. Josh and I were talking on our way down to the concession stand to grab ourselves a snack and a drink. That this is arguably the nicest weather we've had all season long. It was too cold to start the year and then blistering hot the couple of weeks before we both had a one-game absence. But trying to stay blistering hot are the Robins, and Charlie Ahern controls on the near side. Knocked out of play by the visiting Carson Robotham, but a quick throw in.
Fortunately for us that there is no game during the middle of the week here at Lansing Commons Stadium, because it is going to be a blistering hot day during the week on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with highs in the 90s.
Yeah, you know, it's always nice to see the sun and, of course, enjoy summer here in Michigan, but there is such thing as too hot. And even when it is like 20 degrees in the middle of winter and we're just feeling miserable about ourselves, snowed into our houses, 9 inches of snow on the ground, 90 degrees is still too hot. And I don't even think I'd ever really want that or desire that. But hey, to each their own. I know people that love the 90-degree heat. I'm just not one of them, and I don't think you are either, judging off of that statement.
Agreed. I was talking with somebody earlier today that I love the temperature when I can wear a hoodie and I can wear shorts.
I love that. You know what?
That's
Dap me up, man. That is epic, and that is the perfect outfit, in my personal opinion. A quarter zip and shorts, a sweatshirt and shorts. Now, the short sleeve pants is interesting. I mean, I'll do a short sleeve jeans maybe, but short sleeve sweatpants is just, you know, just feel like the top of my body gets colder and my legs get hotter, in my personal opinion.
I agree. I'm the exact same way.
Near side corner for Lansing Common. It's Elijah View. Calls for it back and then plays it across all the way to the other side. And Damian Adai. There's Adai now. Shataya plays it through to Ahern. It's back to Shataya. Make a couple of defenders miss. He tries to. Crosses it towards the box, off the head of View. My goodness. A brace for number 5, and it's 3-0 Robins.
The ball always finds you and finds the shortest man on the field for the Robins, and Elijah View gets his head on the end of this. Beautiful little move from Amir Shataya. Almost falls down, puts a perfectly placed cross onto the head of Elijah View. Groenveld just too tall for him, and Elijah View makes it 3 for the Robins.
It's 2 for View. And the Robins take a commanding 3-0 lead over the visitors. Trying to gain a crucial victory to catapult them into first place.
Every goal ends up mattering in the end. We were talking about it beforehand with Scott Oberlander, that the 6-1 defeat to Tulip City, it did a real number on damage in terms of goal difference, but every goal ends up mattering no matter what's going on. The goal from Spencer Powell may end up being the goal that saves the season with that equalizer against 1927, giving an extra point if Goshen and Tulip City go on to drop points later in the season.
Common can only hope. Goshen City is able to falter. A very interesting game. Both Josh and I were absent for a couple of weeks ago on June 27th against Goshen City, a 1-0 defeat at the hands of the visitors from Indiana. This one kept alive by the Robins in the box. Here's Elijah View, already 2 of them here this evening. Slices, dices, what a pass! And an almost chance for Lansing Common, but in the way is Groenveld. Missed opportunity for Common with 53-11 gone by.
Again, staying on that hot foot, continuing to press. Elijah View has really been such a bright spark for this team today, especially in center attacking mid role. I think to think earlier on in the season he was stuck at left back and stuck in defense. He's really been such a bright spot in that center attacking mid role, alongside having Jack Hill behind him. I think has been a real difference maker for him. Having a player that you can rely on to know that can be that engine behind you and allow you to work creatively in freedom. And having Extreme Hawk, who also is a poacher at the end of the day. He can put the ball in the back of the net, but he's also offering service to Elijah View and the other wingers. So Elijah View's done an amazing job today through the first 54 minutes.
And so it's tomorrow afternoon, 4 p.m. Holland Rovers take on Goshen City. And that game will take place in Holland. And then Goshen finished the season against 1927 SC. So they've played their final home game of the year, have Goshen, and now they have 2 on the road. 1 in the state of Michigan, and then 1 up just the road against 1927. So a unfavorable end of the season for them. This one sent towards the box, off the head, and into possession of Groenveld. Man, oh man, everything is clicking right now offensively for the Robins. On the other side for Tulip City United, they take on 1927 away in Fort Wayne before returning home to play their final game of the year at home against Midwest United FC. So a very interesting end of the season. Lots of different things that could potentially twist either way. Right now, Grand Rapids trying to get back on track. This one crossed into the box, sent away. Vias Papadudis able to control it and reset for the Robins.
First real positive opportunity there from Grand Rapids. Able to sneak in on that far side over towards Amir Shatia. Just wasn't able to keep up. Beautiful ball in behind. Trying to play it back. Just got too much air underneath it instead of playing it along the floor. Otherwise, Grand Rapids would have their first goal in the game. And who knows what could have happened if they got their first goal of the game. They've done it before, where they've posed a real threat to this team. Got to stay grounded, stay focused on what the goal is ahead, pick up 3 points, and then hope results favor your way, as you were just talking about with Goshen City and Tulip City coming in the next few days.
Goshen plays both their final games of the season on the road, but against both Holland Rovers and 1927 SC. Those 2 teams Goshen was able to defeat early in the season. Another crosser that's deflected away. View trying for 3, it's blocked.
Was wondering if they would potentially play it back to Amir Shatia. It looked like he was lingering just on the inside of the box, getting close to that near that 5-yard line. Would have had to have an excellent effort to score had that opportunity blocked, but another corner coming, and eventually one of these corners has got to be put on target.
The first of the half, they had 6 of them in the first frame, make it 7 for the total game. This one sent towards the net. Ahern, a little bit of a misplay on the far side of the box. Elijah View able to keep it alive for Lansing Common. He sends it towards Andy Ignatovich. Battle Creek native unable to play it cleanly. Now here come the visitors. Outstretched over on the far side with lots of space was Tevin Jones. Jones able to play it to Lincoln Martinez. This one just falters away towards Vias Papadudis, and approaching the 60-minute mark of this contest, a 3-0 lead for Lansing. Ahern to Angel Craven. Kevin Shema trying to defend that. Here's Elijah View. Put some spin on that ball to Amir Shatia. That is going to be a clear foul. Easy call for the official. And Jackson Rittner falls down to the ground.
Beautiful switch there from Elijah View over to Shatia. Just too heavy of a touch and goes right into the feet of a Grand Rapids player. Studs up into the feet of said player. Easy free kick coming.
What can Grand Rapids do here? Approaching 30 minutes remaining in the game. They'll need a goal every 10 minutes, which is plenty of time, but it's time ticking down. Using the athleticism is Amir up in the air. Now we've got a little skirmish on the far side. Carter Hagan wrestled down to the ground. The visitors unhappy with the officials. May have thought Carter Hagan was the initiator on the contact, and that right there is number 17, Jackson Rittner, who took a fall earlier, who's frustrated with the officials again. Nonetheless, here come Common. This one, Elijah View, and that one had too much power on it. Watch out, concession stand. Looks like it's heading that way and just hits the back fence.
That ball was also maybe trying to get some ice cream that I saw one of our fellow interns, Jack Ginsel, got some, I believe he got some peanut butter ice cream during the halftime break. Maybe that ball wanted some too, but Elijah View continuing to show his quality in this game from that center attacking mid role. Just putting quality shots on net, and here comes big number 17, Sakuda Mboya.
He comes in to replace Extreme Hawk, who's had himself a day, and Saku Dumboya, one of my personal favorite players on this team. He brings the energy, regardless of if he's the starting lineup or he comes as a substitute, or if he is not even in the game entirely. He always has that extra energy. That is nothing to shy about for him. He really has been that guy all season long. Morale booster.
And I know we talked about during the friendlies when he was starting, and we talked about those goals that he scored, and we said maybe this gives him the opportunity to get his name on the team sheet for a game like this. And the Robins are up 3-0. Granted, there's still lots of work to do with a half hour left, but he can offer a spark in the box in terms of his footwork.
This one off the back line. Amir and Elijah View kind of playing a two-man game inside the box. We're over 60 minutes gone by in the match. The eighth corner upcoming for the Robins at the foot of Josh Angel Craven. Here's Angel Craven. He plays it a little too shallow, but a chance from the outside that pops over the back line for Andy Ignatovich and out of play.
Another opportunity you probably want back. Seems like the Robins are really going for this near post corner opportunity here, as you see this here, trying to find the head of Jack Heald, tried getting a foot on it, was unable to, and Andy Ignatovich just gets too much air underneath it, leading too far back. But you can see the Robins are really looking for that near post to try and find either a flick on to the back post for somebody to capitalize, or Jack Heald to just get a noggin on it to get the fourth of the game.
Some frustration there for the visitors as they were unable to find that stretch pass cleanly. Carson Robotham utilizing the vocabulary. Not sure if the crowd might pick that up, but if it did, I apologize. Here come Lansing Common. Carter Hagan. Ignatovich. Over to Shatayu, plays it back to Damian Adai. Adai across the pitch, got to play it cleanly, some contact. Josh Angel Craven And number 6, Ivan Levya. It looks like it is Amir Shataya who's down on the pitch on the far side of the field. He's been down the whole play. Whistle blows. There'll be a stoppage for an injury.
Looks like he may have just pulled a muscle, hopefully just a cramp. Looking to see if they need a signal over to the trainer if he's going to need some help.
Well, Elijah View runs over and grabs a water. It looks like he'll pass it around, and Vias Papadoutis will help him up, as will Arman Zahidic. So a nice show of sportsmanship there for the visiting defender. There's a stoppage. Gives each team a chance to rest as players helping players. It's a good sight to see.
And a good reminder, this game is slowly starting to get a little chippier, seeing a little off-ball shoving, and reminding them that at the end of the day, it is just a game. We are all human, and helping Amir Shatia get off the pitch.
Clock ticks away. 3-0 the score. 65 minutes gone by. Couple of substitutes looking to come back into the game. Seth Russ and Brody Cologne. So the next stoppage will get them in. Seth Russ had a decent chance in the first half that he kind of put awry. And now he's going to get a chance here in this second half. The long flowing hair as Vias Papadoutis has to make a man miss to get it out of harm's way. Gets it over to Kevin Payne. Payne crossed over to Josh Angel Craven. Possession lost, and now into the hands of the visitors.
Good to see that Shatia is able to come back in.
So Common opt to play with 10 players for a little bit to see if Shatia would be able to come back into the game, and he does. So Amir is now back onto the playing surface, and it's 11v11 again here in this second to last league game of the season for both teams. I mentioned it earlier, Grand Rapids SC has some work to do, but with a win here in this game, they have some work to do in multiple different categories. But with a win here, it's cleared away by the Robin defense. Saku Dumboya giving chase. Visitors continue to have it. It's Dumboya. Now here come Grand Rapids. Damian Adai able to get in the way of that one. Corner will ensue. But with a win here today for Grand Rapids SC, they can catapult themselves all the way up to 5th place out of 7th. So it does give them a little bit of boost on the table. And now, of course, for Lansing Common, it puts them into 1st if they're able to secure the victory here in this game. Grand Rapids SC has one more game left on the schedule, and it's July 17th at 7 p.m. It's a home game in Grand Rapids, Michigan against Midwest United FC. The corner sent in, up into the air. Seth Russ with some space. Plays it in. Grand Rapids still keeping it alive. It's knocked out again. A chance for the visitors, blocked away once more by Damian Adai.
Good stuff there. Ball just kept bouncing way too long. Nobody just getting the foot on it and just saying, get it out of here. Trying to play it up ahead, trying to get a counterattack, but at some point you just got to boot it. It would have been a great time right there. Lincoln Martinez lining up a shot, couple chances, and Kevin Payne actually stepping in front of that one.
Another chance there. Payne right on cue. Playing that ball out. Another one for the visitors that goes to the left of the post. Tobias Papadudis. Head on a swivel. No need to make contact with it. In two corners, no chances in possession for Common as the visitors come up empty. Here's Kevin Payne. Now Andy Ignatovich. Elijah View trying to find it. Now it goes out of play. Possession stays with Lansing Common. As much as it does feel good to know that you're still in contention for first place, it is always so nerve-wracking to not be able to control your own destiny. But right here, Seth Ross controls his own destiny and slots it home.
Just a beautifully well-worked goal there from Seth Russ. This looks like the game's first yellow card is going to be distributed to, I believe, Josh Angel Craven, but took his time, got past Damien Adai, slides it in with the left foot into the bottom left corner, just past the outstretched foot of Vias Papadudis there. In Grand Rapids, like I said, once you get one, you got 20 minutes to find a second and potentially a third. See what happens here, especially with a Robin on a yellow card, especially if you can continue poking at that bear, try and get the Robins down to 10 men. Game goes into chaos from there on out.
Looks like Jed Blau is going to come into the game. And Amir will sit. So here comes Blau. So the Cleary University counterpart of Josh Angel Craven is into the game. Archie Tires is yet to make an appearance this evening. But now it's 3-1. Grand Rapids getting on the board. Seth Ross able to slot it home.
Former Lansing Common player getting on the board.
Just going to say, he gets on the board against his former team. It's got to feel good, no matter the outcome of this game, to know that you were able to get on the scoreboard as Sekou Doumbouya with a nice pass over to Mr. Ahern. And Charlie plays it in the near side corner and out of play. Possession to the visitors.
Excellent stuff there from Sekou Doumbouya, showing off the. We've talked about the rawness to his ability, but you see the quality there in terms of what he can be as a player. Beautiful little back heel to play in Charlie Ahern. Just couldn't control it on this near side, near that right corner flag.
Bouncing around like a pinball is this ball in the air. And finally finds the ground for the first time what feels like forever. Doumbouya now over to Ahern. Back-to-back times when they've connected. Possession once more to the visitors. But before all the chaos of the GRSC goal, I was saying controlling your own destiny, right? Lansing Common totally has a chance to catapult themselves in the first place, and Goshen loses, and boom, there you go. You have a chance to really make a staple in that first place spot and make the title game. But it is always a bummer when you cannot control your own destiny, especially when you know you had a chance to.
Especially, that's the exact same story that happened last season. Going into that Goshen City FC game, and you had it at home, and you had a really great opportunity to control your destiny and what could have played for the first time, playing for a Great Lakes Conference title. Unfortunately, just didn't go in the favor, and history repeats itself. Now you got to change history and find some momentum in these later games. Last season, didn't find that momentum until the last game when it was too little too late. There's still plenty of time left. Get a win here today and hope a little chaos happens over the weekend.
There's another chance for Grand Rapids SC off the boot of Kevin Shema. But Vias Papadudis able to get to the ball at the right time as he blasts it away, approaching the 73rd minute of this contest. Here is Sekou Doumbouya. Doumbouya, fourth goal for Lansing Common would prove to be crucial. What can the visitors do to keep their momentum going? Trip up and a foul. And call it the other way. Number 20, Sebastian Aguilon coming into the game. As well as number 7, Peyton Mull. Started this one, but sat to begin the second half. Now he comes in to replace Kevin Shema. So Shema's evening appeared over.
I thought Kevin Shema offered something that Grand Rapids SC didn't quite take advantage of. I think getting him in space would have really been productive to get the first goal a little earlier than when they did. I think he offered some technical footwork. I think he offered some speed that they were really lacking. They were trying to play long and direct, and that didn't seem quite like what Kevin Shema's game was so far today. So I think they really just didn't get him going as much as they probably would have liked to.
Here comes Seth Russ, hand in the air, frustrated as he's held up. And they're wanting a card. And that would be, if it is a card, potentially on Jed Blau or Andy Ignatovich. Nonetheless, so card looks like it is in the hand. We may have a big development here, depending on who this is on. The official runs over and places the card over the head of what it appears to be Damien Adai, is that right?
Yes, I believe. And I believe the first yellow card went on Jack Heald. So we've got two of the most important players on the pitch in terms of athletic ability for the Robins, and Jack Heald and Damien Adai on yellow cards, which is going to be crucial for the next 15 minutes for them to stay grounded and make sure that the Robins play with 11 men the rest of the game.
Here's the free kick. This one's launched towards the box, and a great chance diving on top of the ball, just getting a fingertip on it is Vias Papadudis. It looked like it was under him, and it ballooned over the net. But a corner coming for the visitors. For the last 10 minutes or so, momentum building and building in favor of Grand Rapids. Nice clear by Jack Heald. Seth Russ able to keep it alive. A former Robin trying to slot home his second. This one goes way wide of the goal.
Seth Russ, coming back into this game for the second time, has really offered a bright spark for Grand Rapids. And even though taking the chance from distance, he's getting the Grand Rapids players back into this one, getting them fired up, knowing that, giving them the ability and the belief that they can do this and pull off what would be a monumental comeback.
Monumental comeback versus heartbreaking collapse is what we've got in store for the remainder of this game. Lansing Common trying to stay afloat. If they can get one more on the board, it would prove to be crucial. Visitors trying to make that difficult. Here is Seth Russ, but a step and a half before him is Vias Papadudis to get a hand on that and corral it in. Here's Adai. Up to Elijah View, taken away, and now it's back to View. Off the head of Sebastian Anglin.
I think it's important to note that winning this game secures that next Saturday means something. No matter what happens, if Goshen City gets all 3 points and Tulip City get all 3 points coming this weekend, you know that no matter what, you have something to play for on that last game day, which is always an important feeling, knowing that the last game means something. You may not be able to control your destiny, and you may be relying on others to do the work for you, but it means something when you walk into the stadium knowing that there is a chance that you win a Great Lakes West Division title.
Win out is arguably a must for this Lansing Common squad. It'd take an absolute miracle for the Robins to secure first place losing out. And of course, going 1-1 would give you 19 total points, and that would require Goshen to lose their final 2 games. against two teams that they defeated early on in the season, but the final two games are on the road against Holland in 1927. Looks like it's just going to be a throw-in for the Robins. Potentially thought it could be a corner kick, but a throw-in is what they call. Ignatovich controlled it for the moment, but then it's the Robins who will throw it back onto the playing surface. Just under 80 minutes gone by. And corralling it is Groenveld. Now the visitors have to work quick. See how quickly they opt to play. Josh has mentioned a few times in the broadcast so far about their conservative play style. That's got to change here in the final 11.
Completely. They have to maintain possession and go for it. If you're the Robins, you can kind of sit back and try and go on the long and direct route with Sekou Doumbouya up top. A little bit of a bigger size and stature than Extreme Hulk offered earlier, but if you're Grand Rapids FC, you almost have to opt to play three at the back the rest of the way and have everybody almost launch forward.
Oh, there's a whistle, a stoppage, and a yellow card delivered the third of the game. This one on the visitors, so Common has spared another one. So now 3 players, 1 for the visitors and 2 for Lansing Common with yellows attached to their name. Ten more minutes to decide this one. Lansing Common playing for first place, standing in the West Division. Grand Rapids trying to keep the win streak of 2 and push it to 3 and play spoiler on the road at Eastern Stadium and destroy any chance for Lansing Common for a second consecutive year for making the playoffs and the title game. Here's the throw in from Damian Adai. This one played out now to Jack Heald, who looks to encroach on the final third. Ahern. Out to Josh Angel Craven. Now to Heald. Controls on the near side, keeping it alive for the moment, but then it goes out. Possession to the visitors. And I just got to say, I'm not usually an opinionated person, but I will say that my opinion on relegation and promotion is that United States Soccer must adopt that.
I agree.
No questions asked. Because every other country and every other league has adopted it, and it works almost to perfection. The Premier League will always be the cream of the crop, yes, no doubt. But it gives teams something to play for. If you could have a system where a team like Lansing Common, a team like Grand Rapids SC, could come from nothing and play in the MLS, would just be unbelievable for all parties involved. This Sekou Doumbouya sends a blast off the shoulder past the back line, but could you imagine if something like that, a team comes out of the Midwest Premier League and makes it all the way to the top?
It'd be unbelievable. And look over to English soccer right now, and I think of Wrexham FC,
sure,
owned by Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, and they've done an excellent job in restoring a town in Wales and bringing them all the way to the championship, one below the Premier League. And that gets excitement, and you can really cultivate a community.
Another corner for Lansing Common is played into the box and then sent back, but retained by Jack Heald. Gets it out to Andy Ignatovich. Lights have come on here at the stadium, and knocked to the ground is Elijah View.
And you look in, when we're talking about this, you see that American owners are getting involved in this. I mean, like I mentioned, Rob McElhenney, American. I know Ryan Reynolds is Canadian, but you got Tom Brady over at Birmingham. You've got Stan Kroenke over at Arsenal. They just won the Premier League. He has a dynasty of teams all across the continent and the world between Arsenal, Denver Nuggets, LA Rams. So American soccer is evolving. I think they need to take on the European style.
No doubt about it. Here's Angel Craven, plays it towards Sakuda Boya, couldn't get a foot on it. Now the visitors really have to work. We've got under 7 minutes of regular time left. There's Lincoln Martinez. Seth Russ couldn't get a step on it. It's knocked away by the back line of the Robins. Time continues to tick as the throw in from Peyton Mole comes for the visitors. Frustration from the Grand Rapids SC bench. There's a little skerfuffle that caused the player to fall down, but just a common foul called, and now we've got a free kick for number 10, Brody Colon.
It almost seems as if Grand Rapids was egging on Jack Heald to give that foul, almost just essentially playing it into him while Jack Heald was trying to get around, had both hands on the shoulder, ripped him down. Seemed like they were absolutely playing into that one to set up this long ball opportunity.
Here's Cologne towards the box. Papadudis trying to be in the right spot, and he can't be. Visitors get a 1-goal deficit. It's 3-2.
And that's exactly what you had to worry about right there. Grand Rapids does exactly what they had to do there. Put the ball into the box. Lansing Common gets caught napping, just gets enough of a touch underneath the feet of Papadudis, screaming for offside there. Not sure if he was, but regardless, makes it for a testy 5 minutes here and extra time for the remainder of this one.
You know, Josh and I have talked the broadcast. Grand Rapids just trying to get it down to 1, trying to get it down to 1. And there you have it. They get their 1-goal deficit they needed. Seth Russ scores the first, the second, a lucky one. And now it's 3-2. Lansing clinging to a 3-2 lead.
And this is the most important 5+ minutes you could argue in Lansing Common history, because if Grand Rapids somehow, in some way, finds another goal, if Goshen City win tomorrow, that's it. I talked about it a little earlier, last match week meaning something. It would all be for nothing, and we'd all come here and hoping to play for second place at the end.
Hoping that the Robins can hang on, but the visitors trying to exercise any last effort to notch the game at 3 apiece and send this thing to extra time. It's like shades of Argentina, Egypt. I wouldn't compare Seth Russ to Messi just yet.
Not yet.
Here come the visitors. Trying to play it in. Another nice chance for Grand Rapids. Tripped up, and we've got a whistle. Oh, my goodness. Can you believe it? How momentum has swung in the favor of the visitors. And now, as the time winds down closer to the 90-minute mark, Grand Rapids with a penalty kick and a chance to tie the game at 3.
I am not one to speculate, but personally, I thought a Lansing Common player won the ball there and the tackle, and it almost seemed as if a Grand Rapids player was going down to ground regardless, but Seth Russ has a potential to sink the dagger in the hopes of making match week 10 mean something.
Seth Russ, who else, scores the goal to bring momentum back for the visitors against his former team on his former playing surface, with all of his former teammates watching. Somehow, some way, Grand Rapids SC is back in it. And in the closing, waning moments, it's the former Robin against the star-studded goaltender in Vias Papadudis. Can the keeper knock it away, or will Seth Russ deliver the tying goal? fans, hands above their head, over their eyes. It's Seth Russ and Vias Papadudis. What will happen? And it's Russ who delivers it. Oh my goodness. The Robins cannot believe it. A yellow card has been assessed, but after the goal, and it's 3-3.
Seth Russ sinks it into the bottom left corner. Vias Papadudis doing his best to get him off. Regardless if he saved it, I believe it would have been retaken as he was off his lines. And what has taken place at Eastern Stadium is shell-shocking. Went from 3-0, comfortable Elijah View brace, has turned into now utter panic to try and find one more goal for the Robins. Otherwise, Goshen City can end it tomorrow afternoon.
Seth Russ. What a final 10 minutes for him. And now can the Robins deliver in the clutch? Jorge Loizaga into the game. He crosses it towards nobody home except for Jack Kield momentarily. We've reached the 90-minute mark. Extra time yet to be seen as to how much will be put onto the clock. 4 minutes of extra time. Jason Janowski back into the game for Lansing Common. As the visitors have a throw-in, they look to locate somebody open down the pitch. The ball off of Grand Rapids. Sent towards by the Robins. Lansing Common trying to harness the energy. Forget about what has just taken place the last 10 minutes. Then notch one home. It's Angel Craven towards the box. Defended nicely by the visitors, and now it's Ahern. Val Burlesenko into the game as well. A long pass that goes off the back line. Chasing after it was Carter Hagan. We've got 3 more minutes. Shocking. Utilizing all the time he can is Groenveld. He sends this one into the Lansing sky. Visitors have all the momentum. Knocked to the ground, another foul.
Utterly speechless. What had turned into a joyous occasion for 60 minutes has now turned into utter horror that the season is on the line in the next 2-ish minutes.
Come the visitors, plays it towards the box. Might be a little long. It is off the back line. We've got 2 more minutes and counting of extra time. We'll see how the officials rule it, but it's Papadudis. Common has delivered in the clutch before. It was Spencer Powell in the 95th minute against 1927 SC to kick off league play earlier in the year, where he buried a crosser off of his foot to notch the game at 1. Have a walk-off league point. Right here is Seth Russ, who's been the hero for the visitors. Here is Russ once more. Off the foot of Ignatovich. Time just ticking away. 30 more seconds until the 4th minute. Grand Rapids SC trying to find a 4th goal, but even more importantly, it's Lansing Common trying to do the same. Here's Groenveld. Sends it into the sky. One more effort for the Robins to try to find themselves the 4th goal. That one sent awry. A quick throw in to Josh Angel Craven, who plays it to Janowski. Outside the box, crosses it in, Dumboya! Through the back line. Corner coming for Lansing Common. This could be all she wrote. But it does not look like it is, because it's off of a Robin defender, which means a goal kick for the visitors.
Ball was just a little too far behind Saku Dumboya.
And that's it. That is it. In a shocking result as some chippiness ensues on the field, and members of the Robins on the bench running out to break things up. We've got a collection of individuals at the 40-yard line trying to separate things as the whistle has been called and the game has gone final. See if we can separate things before Josh and I share our final thoughts.
Lansing Common 3. Fans, thank you for joining us for today's game. The Robins are back home.
And this is
2026 home finale next Saturday, June 8th.
a disappointing scene
As we take on Holland Rovers.
here in Lansing. Handshake line seems to have calmed down, so we'll share our final thoughts. And Lansing Common 3, Grand Rapids 3. And at the 64th minute, like Josh said earlier, all seemed well in a 3-0 lead for Lansing.
And it really should have continued that way. And just sloppy play there towards the end. Beautiful individualness from Seth Russ on that first goal, being able to slip by Damien Adai and slip that one into the bottom left corner. Then you see the second one, and that's just sloppy play from the defensive end. Just now, no one really tracking back, no one really catching the guy on that far left side. Just able to slip it past Vias Papadudis. And then the third, just clumsy defending. Like I said earlier, questionable in my opinion, but again, I'm never going to go against ref. He has much better view than I did, but just a disappointing end. And if Goshen City pick up any points tomorrow, they pick up 3 points tomorrow, that's all she wrote on the 2026 Midwest Premier League season for the Robins.
Well, as it stands now, it's Lansing Common in 2nd place. For Goshen City, victory tomorrow afternoon will likely secure the 1st place spot for the 2nd straight year. Lansing Common fall to Grand Rapids SC here at Eastern Stadium. For Steve Beckman, Eric Wolcott, our producer Scott Oberlander, my partner Josh Lee, I'm Jack Bowinkle. Thank you all for tuning into us. Thank you all for staying with us the entirety of the contest. We will see you next weekend for the home finale and the league finale for the Robins on LCFC TV.